on, how you doing? Alright, so it seems the microphone is working. Let me just turn this off. I'm sorry. I thought it looked better, but the sun is going through my eyes. How you doing? You all doing great? It's Saturday. It's the weekend. Not that it matters anyway, since we can't get out of the house yet. Kind of miss going to the woods, doing a picnic, making a fire. I don't know, I think it's the primal instinct in me to just go sit near a fire somewhere where there aren't a lot of people though, because that went down the drain pretty quickly, didn't it? But yeah, other than that, it's a pretty good day. It's a pretty nice day. I'm still annoyed by the events this app is creating, but it's the best we get. It's the best we get because let's be honest, the other ones were way worse. Wait, what's with this? Okay, so hope you're all doing great. Hope you're all having fun. I hope you all can hear me. I can see here that you can hear me, which is wonderful. I will do some more rehashing, but this seems to be the best outcome. Let's see if I even write hello. Hope. Okay. It seems to work on a couple of them. Not all of them, of course. Because I can't write on YouTube. Yeah. But no, it's okay, it's okay. We're all doing fine. I hope you're having a fantastic day, and today we're gonna continue, reading Sarah Grimm's 70 Days book. We're gonna end it, we're gonna give it a review, let's call it. Some things that, in my opinion, could be made. I'm not a writer, so my opinion doesn't matter that much. I just like to read it and see what other people are thinking, what other people are writing, and it's a great way for them to listen to their story from a weird person like me that reads it in different ways than they write it. So come on, let's do it. Let's all do it. It's Saturday. I usually don't stream on Saturdays, but I just wanted to finish the book and go ahead and write something today also. Okay, let's see how we're gonna do it. How we're gonna write it. Are you excited to find out what's going on? Cause oh yeah, we read this part, the hairy capital. This was the one that actually was pretty nice. Luri jumped and saved the I don't know, the potential president or the president of the capital. They had two bridges. They were installing two bridges, And yeah, I talked about the train. I'm sorry I'm touching my beard so much. I'm trying not to. So let's continue. Let's read it. Let's put this magical reading hat and see where do we go. The Okami Rebellion. Oh, that's a good start for me trying to read. Let's see here. All right. Now I'm nervous if I can hear myself. No, I am. Let me just. I had to listen to myself to be sure that it's actually working. So let's go on ahead and read. The flying city of Jefferson was a unique territory. How it flies required a lot of resources and energy. The giant behemoth of a municipality runs on balloons, propellers, and some sort of jet-fueled mechanism. I don't know, let me... Oh, I'm sorry, I was hearing birds and I thought it was from a song in my computer. But no, they are actual birds that are singing outside, telling themselves how much they want to meet the people to tell them off. Alright, the electric lights from the city are wonderfully installed at each corner of the streets. New residents of the city peacefully carry on their day-to-day life in this eighth wonder of the world. I come across a barber shop which cut both male and female werewolf fur. Remind you. Barbers' state-of-the-art techniques were mastered from an academy of selected individuals. 9 barbers were cutting, combing, brushing, shaving, and washing hair and fur left and right. I would like to give it a try as my fur starts to become informal and out of place. So I found out the nearest barber who finished the latest client. I sat down, wore a cape like I was a judge about to hear a court case, and right away I was getting clipped with scissors and my fur was strengthened with a candlelit flame. Nice. And then it was a comb through. Oh, then it was a comb through, wash with floral fur care, and finally released me from 25 minutes of pure gentle care. I thanked and paid him $1.65 for the service, and I strolled on out of the shop. Whoa, $1.65, and she's gonna get 20 million. 20 million. That's like, let's see. How much is a haircut? Let's let's see. Okay, so a female cut would be like $20. $20. Let's round that up. How much do we have? $20. That's 20 times, no, 18 times more. And the price was 20 million. That's like 280 million. $280 million for circumnavigating the Earth. The world, not the Earth. The world, because it's a different world. It's not our world. It's a magical world. Well, that's a lot of money. That is a lot of money. Where does she have so much money? Just to give 280 million. Who gives 280 million? As a bet. The reason why I didn't tell you, the reason why I didn't let Andre shave me was that he was a terrible barber. The last thing he did was accidentally cut my arms and legs thoroughly. Making a tiny incident would have made me look like a sheep. Oh, we don't want that. Thankfully, my limbs healed and grow back fur after an hour and a half of embarrassment from my newly found friends. Okay. Thankfully, my limbs healed and grew back fur after an hour and a half of embarrassment from my newly found friends. I'm not getting a little about that. I don't really understand it. Did it take 1 hour and a half for the fur to heal back and for the limbs to heal and the fur to grow back? That feels like she should have stayed at home. But if not, it's just 1 hour and a half of pure embarrassment while meeting their friends, as they said, 1 hour and a half with her friends. We first arrived at the coast of Okami State. Not that far was the flames of burning bonfires, of vehicles, furniture, and even traditional clothing. Whoa. Then a pamphlet flew by my face and read the best I can from the foreign language. It says something about a revolution against the state's alpha and secession from the world. My gut feeling that something is not right when we're going to depart, and my sense of adventure really worn out after the war. Okay, let me read that again because I lost. My gut feeling that something is not right when we're going to depart, and my sense of adventure really worn out after the war. Okay, I think Luri had a gut feeling that something is not right and something is gonna happen after they depart, and his sense of adventure was really worn out after the war. Her sense of adventure has really worn out after the war, and she didn't want to just try and engage in politics and see where that was heading, where she was. I think she's gonna continue doing the bet. Alright, let me just sit comfortably. Every time I think of that, I felt guilty. Killing sheep, both young and old, and maybe It's just the time to redeem myself from this guilt. Oh yeah. Maybe I would have been a lady who never made an outburst to ship. Maybe I should be grateful for having Andre with me on this journey. Who knows? Things are likely to change, that's for certain. Alright, let me rephrase it because it's a very beautiful thought. So let me do it. Every time I think of that, I feel guilty. Killing sheep, both young and old, and maybe it's just the time to redeem myself from this guilt. Maybe I would have been a lady who never made an outburst to sheep. Maybe I should be grateful for having Andre with me on this journey. Who knows? Things are likely to change, that's for certain. As the floating city began to a halt, we said farewell to Miss Holmes and rode a short trip by an airship. Soon after, we disembarked and admired the sloped rooftops, a grand view of the governor's palace, and lots of protesting sheep bombarding the streets. It's a war zone out there, and it would be best if I was not involved. Unfortunately, I did the exact opposite. We were looking for a way to get out of this beautiful yet damning place. Why? Oh, it was ironic, right? Until Andre heard shouting from the group of concerned activists. There were not only sheep in this ruckus, but werewolves as well. Whatever happened is not my intention to poke myself in a controversial issue which I am not fully aware of. Lots of Alright. They were protesting and bombing. While the massive crowd protested in a violent takeover of the city. If not the entire state, a sheep stood out of the horde and walked closer to me. And I don't like anybody close to my personal space. Just as he pulled out something in his jacket pocket, I drew my claws and prepared for anything suspicious. And I was absolutely correct. He drew his blade, a kukri nonetheless, and was prepared to take action. Okay, I don't know how to spell kukri. Let's see, what is a kukri? Kukri. Oh. It's kind of like a machete. Let me just put it on so we can all see. Okay. Let's where is it? Where's the damn this hair? Not having a good hair day, am I? Window capture, that's it. Yeah, this one. Oh, it's not showing. Good, it's good. This one, this is the kukri blade. Alright, let's read a little about it. Let me just, where am I? The kukri or kukri is a knife originated from the Indian subcontinent, associated with the Nepali-speaking Gurkhas of Nepal and India. Okay, so Gurkhas of Nepal and India usually use this blade. The knife has a distinct recurve in the blade. It is used as both a tool and a weapon in the Indian subcontinent. Alright, so it's also a tool. That's pretty good. Let's see. Pronunciation.
Cookery.
Cookery. Cookery.
Cookery. Cookery.
Cookery. Cookery. A cookery, nonetheless, and was prepared to take action. He first takes a hard blow to my arm. I healed and took advantage of the position I was... Wasn't it a child? While the massive crowd protested in the entire state, a sheep stood out of the horde and walked to... Oh no, it was just a sheep. Alright, I get it. I don't like anybody close. Just as he pulls something, I drew my claws. He first takes a hard blow to my arm. I healed and took advantage of the position I was in by grabbing with my claws and slam him to the ground. I twisted his arms just like the military training taught me for self-defense and disarmed his knife. He tried to escape my grip, so I simply let go of him before I knew. I heard a yell. I turn around with a kick and he fumbles to the ground defeated. Luckily, I didn't kill him and broke the law. Soon, I took his elaborate engraved blade and returned to rest. Wait, what? Okay. I twisted his arms like in the military training taught me in self-defense and disarmed his knife. He tried to escape my grip, so I simply let him go before I knew. I heard a yell. I turned around with a kick. And he fumbles to the ground, defeated. Was it another one, or where did he run? He returned. Luckily, I didn't kill him and broke the law. Well, I think when you're doing this, it's not breaking the law if he dies. Especially if he attacked you. But you're gonna have to deal with knowing that you killed someone, and that's higher than the law. Soon, I took his elaborate engraved blade and returned to rest. Where he did return, it seems like that place is a war zone. Well, you said it was a war zone. And you took the blade and returned to rest. Where did you return to rest? In that city that's protesting, or did you go back? Let's see. The next day we quickly catch a working steam-powered car that was available, and after 30 minutes of driving in silence, we were able to leave the turbulent state of Okami. Okay, so they slept somewhere there. Right? Which one was Okami? Let me just see. Was this one Okami? I don't really remember. Let's see, where? Okami. What city is Okami? I heard of it, Okami. Great God. It's Japanese for great God. Oh, that's a pretty nice use of the name. Guerrilla warfare from rebels and state guards really brings for most parts of the world. Oh, sorry. Guerrilla warfare from rebels and state guards really brings me back from the past. News of the state rebellion was ignored for most parts of the world. As our destination to the final state of the world comes near, we had crossed a patrol gate that was checking the bystanders from smuggling illegal tobacco and alcohol. Tobacco and alcohol was strictly prohibited from the next destination as the government and the state legislature passed a law from health, religious, and even personal reasons. Okay, so and say bring me back from the past. Okay. News from the rebellion was ignored for most parts of the world. Our destination to the final state of the world comes near. Okay, so they left. They left the city. They slept in the city or rested in the city and then left. They were checking bystanders for tobacco, as in the next destination those were strictly prohibited. And I'm curious how it's gonna do now. Oh, no, it's nothing much. In on the 20th of this month, the menthol cigarettes are gonna be banned in my country, and I'm smoking menthols. I know they're harmful. I know they're more harmful than regular cigarettes. But I'm curious how it's gonna go. I hope by that time I will manage to do the contract and the devil's contract and finally end smoking spree. But yeah, let's go ahead and see what's next. Okay. Passed the law for health, religious, and even personal age. Okay, so tobacco and alcohol was strictly prohibited from the next destination as the government and the state legislature passed a law for health, religious, and even personal reasons. Well, like most countries do that are exporting poor people. I don't know, I'm not sure. I don't like having personal and religious reasons. Health reasons I accept, but religious and personal is not a thing that you should do. But they do it anyway. Anyone does it, so it's not like it's something unheard of. I just don't like the idea. But it's happening all the time. Papers, please. Identification papers, please. Do you know the game Papers, Please? It's pretty awesome. Pretty weird how you can spend so much time on it, but it's pretty awesome. You have to. Your role is to be a border guard, and people are coming in, and you have to accept them and not accept them. You have to see the fake IDs, the ones that are telling the right stories. You have to find the ones that are suspicious. It's pretty great to play if you have some time and don't know what to play. It's called Papers, Please. But yes, identification papers, please. One of the guardians demanded. We each gave our cards. The Guardian examined its authenticity and then let us through the border. We made it to a territory simply called Oregona. Was that Oregon? And you added an A and maybe. We'll never know. Or oregano. No, that's with an A. The territory itself was filled with religious immigrants from all over the world. It was considered to be the next melting pot of cultures if it were to become a state. Really? Everyone from all over speaks their native language and English like back home. There were churches of all kinds, each telling their own origins of werewolves. I was raised in an agnostic household and I have no certainty of how the first werewolf originated and had its fair share of miracles, prophecy, and tall tales with morals. Yeah. The land was brought by the world government from the remaining indigenous werewolves for $10 billion after 20 years of conflict. Well, if Luri wins this, she will have like 2% of that. So that's very good for research. No, $10 billion. 28 million, 20 million, right? 10 billion, 1 billion, 100 million, 2 million. Oh, 0.1% of that money. Well, it's still something, 0.01, but it's not that much though now. Now it's $10 billion, it's a lot. And the land was brought by the world government from the remaining indigenous werewolves for $10 billion after 20 years of conflict. Alright, so they bought it. The natives didn't rebel against the well-established government as they shared 20% of their own land. Alright. As a result, the natives technically won. As we parked in the nearest stop before reaching our final destination, I tried to find fuel and some spare parts when I got hit by the head, leaving me unconscious until I woke up, tied up from a chair. It was the same man from Okami, and he wasn't alone. Alright, so they followed. How did they? Maybe they caught him in line. Okay. The Rising Moon. Let's go to the next one. It was pretty good. It's pretty interesting already. 2 male sheep were holding a wrench and hammer like weapons. Are they going to torture me? It seems likely to be the case. One was about to swing the hammer to one of my legs until one of them raised the signal. A signal of diligence, I guessed. Okay, so they were holding a wrench. They were holding it like this, and the hammer it's still like this. Are they going to torture me? It seems likely to be the case. One was about to swing the hammer to one of my legs until one of them raised the signal. A signal of diligence, I guess. I didn't scream, as epsilons are very tough when it comes to interrogation. Alright. Then the sheep with the wrench was smashing my claws. Oh, but still not a peep. They continued to torment me to a bloody mess for half an hour, and still no motive as to why they kidnapped me, other than sweet revenge for taking his dagger. Oh, those sheeps are mean, aren't they? Just doing something and torturing. That was until a sudden halt began, and then the man starts to ask questions. Where were you when the day of the international bank robbery? He asked. Where were you when the day of the international bank robbery? On the day, probably, you were meant to write here? He asked. What robbery? I replied. The day that you stole $4,000 in the exact day you decide to leave from the crime scene. Oh, I'm sorry about this. Whoa. My head hurts. Not my head, like this, like the bone above the eye. Oh, what's this? What is this? I think it passed. Well, I can still feel it pulsing, but that's the normal amount of pain, I think. What robbery? I replied. The day that you stole $4,000 in the exact same day you decide to leave from the crime scene, he instigated. Oh, please, I did no such thing. I scoffed at the man whose name was James Fix. Alright. Then how do you explain the accounts of your physical description? What? He said with an angry cross in his face. What? There can be someone else who looks like me. I bluffed to the point where my sass really cost my life. What? There can be someone else who looks like me. I bluffed to the point where my sass really cost my life. Alright, so she realized that she is not the one that did the robbery, right? And she was bluffing. That's why I don't know why she was bluffing. Like, did she do it? Because I bluffed to the point where my sass really cost my life. That makes me think she's done it, but we didn't hear about it. Oh, did she? Okay, let's see. Maybe she did. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna spoil it. He let out a temper tantrum and state the facts over and over again. But I do know that I went to the Wolf Club that day and I never committed any crimes in the past. Then I feel peeping hot. I start to shake uncontrollably and my body starts shifting into a beast. It is a full moon already. My mouth turned into a muzzle. My once ruined claws changed to perfection and my legs instantly healed. Alright, so she was not there. Alright, we're still gonna see. Instantly healed. I broke free from the chair and instantly escaped from my captives. I didn't want to hurt them despite the fact that they did abduct me. And soon enough I found jasmine scent and followed the smell of distinct lilacs. Lilacs. How do you pronounce lilacs? I think it's lilacs, right? Pronunciation. Oh, I'm using the every
Lilacs.
Lilacs. Lilacs? Really?
Lilacs.
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 Lilacs. Weird. 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 Wait. Am I somehow not hearing myself? Am I? No, I'm here. Oh. That would have been something, eh? Almost 1 hour in and where I've read nothing to you. That would have been interesting and shameful for me, of course. But yeah, let's continue. Lilacs. Wait, what was the pronunciation again?
Lilacs.
Lilacs. Lilacs. Lilacs. That sounds weird, doesn't it? Lilacs. Lilacs. Do you remember the smell of lilacs? Oh, I need some lilacs. I need to go somewhere where there are lilacs. Because usually you see them when summer approaches. It's during the spring. You smell them. The late spring. At least how I remember I smelled them. And then going through the whole summer with lilacs smell. But let's continue. Let's get on with this. Let's see. While I was running, all the other werewolves were bringing havoc to the streets. That it wasn't funny. Okay, I don't this. While I was running, all the other werewolves were bringing havoc to the streets. That it wasn't funny. All the sheep were defending themselves by using guns to scare off and possibly hurt them. There was also a form of rogue gangs just hunting animals, both wild and domesticated. I think it's against the law to steal livestock before or after a full moon. Then again, I haven't broken any laws that involve harming sheep to the extreme. Okami is no exception. Alright, so the laws say you can own them, you can maltreat them, you can do everything as long as you pay them, and you shouldn't harm them unless it's a full moon, because then you're gonna harm them. Okami is no exception. I found out Yasmin into the mix, and for the first time she looks gorgeous. She looked like me, but more ladylike, with a few wolf traits that you know the drill. She looked like me, but more ladylike, with a few wolf traits that you know the drill. She seems happy to see me alright, despite being tortured for a long time. She was also tortured? Soon we enjoy the brightly lit night sky while absolute chaos runs loose. I found a 14-carat diamond ring lying on the ground. It was left pretty intact and in perfect shape. The heart-shaped diamond really gave me an idea, so I pocketed it to my almost torn down trousers while Yasmin wasn't looking. Alright, and that seems to be from... okay. As the moon starts to set, I bend down to my knees, took the ring out of my pocket, hands closed tightly, and start to say something romantic. When I first laid eyes on you, the first thing I thought was how much a woman you really are, I said while Yasmin left completely puzzled. And before I met you, I thought I had no meaning to be in this world. After all the trauma and depressing thoughts of my life, I thought I was going to live alone forever, I contemplated. But when we first kissed, I found meaning in my life after all these years. So to wrap up what I'm trying to say, I raised my arms and showed her the ring. Will you marry me? I asked. She starts to tear up a little and then, yes, I will marry you, she said emotionally. I placed the ring in her finger and we started to kiss. We howled, of course, but it was the most unforgettable night of my life. The sun starts to rise and we change back to our normal form, and after changing clothes and meeting Andre again, we continue to drive to the open road of Oregona. And we were almost home. 68 days were spent and we still got 2 extra more days to go. Andre was a little shaking from last night. I can tell by the mind I just read while he was driving. A sheep mind can be read. Just they don't realize the fact, thanks to a lot of fake news from the media. Alright. That's kind of distressing. As we passed by a sign that said Charlotte, not that far from us, I had to play charades to my fiancé, who was enjoying quite a bit. Okay, let's see. As we passed by a sign that said Charlotte, not that far of us, I had played charade. Charlotte. Oh, it was Charlotte. As we passed by a sign that said Charlotte, not that far from us, I had played characters to my fiancé, who was enjoying quite a bit. It was the first time I have been happy since the war. I then told Andre about my engagement with Yasmin, but he didn't bother too much. So we were close to Charlotte, about 60 miles away, until we ran out of coal, our main fuel for the automotive. That's nice. We were stuck in the middle of nowhere. There were no trees to fuel the carriage, and nobody was coming to our aid. Alright. It would seem we lost a little hope to reach Charlotte and Wolf Club. That is, until we realized we have no choice but to run. As I said, a werewolf can run pretty fast on feet, but preferably we like to travel in style. Yeah. So I carried the lightweight Andre onto my back, and soon we ran as fast as possible into our destination. Suffice to say, my daily exercise really paid off. We ran at a top speed of 30 miles without being too tired. Eventually, we found a cab that was near the outskirts of Charlotte. I gave her $20 and we rested on the electrical carriage to ride towards the club. Alright, I think we're gonna see now what happens, what really happens, what I understood now that she was looking for meaning, and she found meaning in Yasmin, but maybe we'll get another plot twist. Let's see. End of the bet. We soon reached the club in perfect timing. The asphalt streets were familiar and soothing. Let's see. We soon reached the club in perfect timing. The asphalt streets were familiar and soothing. We reached the door, being welcomed by the shocked club member. I approached Lucy and my eager friends, and sure enough made this calm comment. "Ladies and gentlemen, here I am," I said. Then a crowd of people arrived at the scene. Did they notice me while I traveled? Of course they did. They read a newspaper spreading my name on the headline. "We have won the bet. The funds were about $70,000 and now it's down to $59,000. Okay, let's see. We have won the bet. The funds were about $70,000 and now it's down to $95,000. What funds? $70,000 and now it's down to 95,000. I don't understand how this works. What funds? And why were they down when 59,000. I understand. Sorry, but I don't know what those funds were. We have earned $17 million. A mere 3 million lost, but I didn't honestly give a rat's ass. Where did they lose those 3 million? I don't really know. Was that the tax? Was that the income tax from $17 million? So $20 million were I remember being $20 million. I'm not sure. Me 3 million lost, but I didn't honestly give a rat's ass. Okay, yeah, it's still $70 million. Were they $18 million? I don't remember for sure. So, no, I don't understand the 3 million lost. Where did they lose that 3 million? It's quite a story, right? Andre was about to shake my hand and said, "Congratulations." I held his hand firmly and thanked him for a good service. Then Yasmin came to the scene and gave me a kiss. And it's not a simple kiss in the cheek. Haha, nice. The crowd of journalists was wild and asking questions about my travels. Then a man with a fine suit came to me and asked me what will I do next. I simply replied, "First, I will plan for my wedding, and then run for beta with my great friend Holmes. Anyone care to attend?" Andre said jokingly. "I think it's time to rest easy," I confirmed. And soon enough, we left the club and returned home. Alright, we're gonna continue reading the epilogue. And it's almost ending. It's almost the end. We read it in all out. Let's see what we're having here. Okay. It's Epilogue by Sarah Grimm 70 Days. 3 months have rolled. Wait. Yeah, it's here. 3 months have rolled by since our first adventure. I wore a colorful yet formal suit with some slacks and was waiting for Yasmin at the altar. I was decorated with glowing purple roses, and guests from all over appeared at the ceremony. The guests were friends and family from both mine and Yasmin. Even Holmes and the chief appeared at the wedding. Then the music started playing, and the bridesmaids were followed by the flower girl tossing rose petals. Yasmin arrived soon after and was escorted by her mother. She was smiling. I blushed with joy, and then the ceremony begins. The priest started to babble verses from the sacred rune scrolls for about an hour. I was bored, of course, but boredom will not interfere with my moment. Then we start to write our marriage signature and our vows to each other. "Will you become my wife in hard terms?" I asked while holding her deliberately decorated hand. "I do," she responded. We said the same thing as Andre, my handsome best man, starting giving the rings. Nice. We each put the rings in our fingers. "You may now claim your bride as approved by the god of the moon," the priest announced. We both bite each other in the neck as the markings healed but left indents. Sorry. Okay, so that was those traditions they had. We were now mates for life. Everyone applauded and then escorted to our private electric automobile as we purchased it a month earlier. Then the reception began. It was a bright and vibrant place to be, exactly as I envisioned when I once dreamed of the future during my time in the Epsilon. Though it was a big and depressing time back then, I still had hope. I just didn't look hard enough. My mother and my father met Yasmin's mother, which brings an uncomfortable feeling about my father's odd behavior. We drank, danced, and enjoyed the conversation of friends in the past. As a sober groom, I did notice some wild behavior from my family. Alright, so wasn't she a female? I thought she was a female. I thought they were both females. Weren't they? Was she or he actually? Now that's a plot twist. And if that's the way, I'm sorry, Sarah, for misinterpreting that Luri was a woman, was a female. I think as a sober groom, I did notice some wild behavior from my family. I'm not sure, maybe, I'm not let's see, I think a groom means, maybe groom. Prepare a train for someone for a particular purpose. Groom, meaning? Marriage. Okay, let's see. We have more meanings for groom, so maybe it's a different meaning implied here. It's grooming means to take care of the appearance, whether it's plucking eyebrows or combing your hair. When you spend over an hour grooming in the bathroom, combing your mustache and buffing your nails, you drive everyone else who needs to use the bathroom crazy. It also means a man participant in his own marriage ceremony, and also educate for a future role or function. Or there is another one that the British didn't talk about for a long while, was the grooming gangs, that they were preparing minors to become sex workers. Yeah, that's a hard reality to talk about if you want to know, if you're there. The police kind of kept silent so they won't be considered racist, but they exist. So I think I'm thinking of a sober groom like the man in the wedding. I did notice some wild behavior from my family, which I will keep to myself, as not only it is disrespectful, it is also very distasteful and cruel-minded to say it here. Okay, very nice. Especially for my father. We said farewell to our guests as we planned on going to the northerly volcanic islands of Vinland country for our honeymoon. As much as I love my life now and being thankful, I think it would be even better if I had a child. That was in our minds when we were away. 6 months later, Yasmin was pregnant. A generous donor. Oh. Okay, so she is... Okay, I'm not gonna stress that out, but it's groom and groom or bride. That's my maybe she was the one that was more masculine, you could say. Well, she was in the army though. You could understand she wanted to be the manlier I'm not gonna get into that. No, 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 no. I'm not getting into that. That is not for me. It's alright. I just thought groom was only for men. In my culture, that's how we use it. I don't know if, I'm not gonna say if it's right or wrong. It's just how we're using it. I don't have a point to make there. We both looked and smiled at each other. Okay. A generous donor gave us his sperm from the bank. She was in intense labor, as I sat right next to her. She pushed hard and eventually gave birth to twin girls. We both looked and smiled at each other as the two cubs were giving to Yasmin. What are you gonna call them? I questioned. Lily and Kumari, she replied. I didn't protest from the name choices. As I looked at my girls, I think about a bright future will bring great joy to my girls. A future of good and bad. But mostly great things will happen tomorrow. It will happen right now. Alright, how do I add it to my list? I added it. I added it to the reading list. Alright, so I finished it. Yeah. Alright, so I think I can bring the light now. Oh, sorry about that. So, how was the story? Actually, it was pretty interesting, though it does need some focus. It does need some focus on a subject. I thought it was gonna be about the war and how the world changed while she was circumnavigating the world. But then it was about ships, and I didn't understand what their relationship was, as ships were servants, and they were not allowed to harm them, but they were treating them badly. And yeah, I don't know what the subject is, to be honest. I didn't see it bringing to I didn't see the story bringing us to the whole core of the story being she wanted to get married with Yasmin. It doesn't say about the wolf's bane, this is cure or donation anymore. It just says about the wedding. And the money, again, I don't really understand if that's a lot of money or that's not a lot of money. And how did they did that? What money did they have to do that? Did she take a loan of 20 million and spent 3 million? It's the places seem to be nice. The places seem to be nice, but you either should focus on what Luri wants. I think the one or two, maybe 2 points should be made there. It's the same as my book. For now, it's not focused on one character to be. It's not really focused on something, as there are a lot of things happening, and I'm trying to focus on more. But my plan is by the end for them to, make sense. the the reasons why they were so scattered. I hope. I don't know if I'll make it, but that's what I hope. But yeah, what I have to say about this book, it's pretty good. You could do some great. You could focus more on sightseeing. If we're gonna see some sightseeing and we're gonna try and imagine things, those were gonna be the things we were going to care about. Also, one of the things I don't know is, was she the one that did the break-in while she was transformed in a werewolf or something? Because I got stuck with that story, and why she loved Yasmin. That's what I didn't understand. Some of the reason of why she did that. Because all of a sudden she was with Andre, this person that she spent 2 and 3 months and treat him like this sheep, sorry, and treat him like a servant, and all of a sudden she saw a poor werewolf and was in love. So that pity turned into love. She loved her because she pitied her. I'm not sure. And so it's either gonna be super focused, Luri to be super focused on those 20 million, or on circumnavigating the world, and just finding by mistake, and just getting what do you call, getting feelings along the way, and then understanding that Yasmin is the most important. It's not bad, but I felt like I don't know how time worked there, because we really learned so little about the time, those 70 days. Why was it so hard to circumnavigate the Earth in 70 days if everyone knew that it can be You said that the common, I think Lucy said the common you can circumnavigate the Earth in 100 days, and everyone knew that, but somehow Luri said that it's possible to circumnavigate it in 70, and people didn't believe her, but from what I saw down here, it was pretty easy to circumnavigate the Earth in 70 days. That's one of the things I didn't quite get, and it finally went to be about the marriage, about marrying Yasmin, a girl she found she followed in a dark alley, in an alley like that, and yeah, that's kind of what I didn't understand from the book. The automatons also in the wedding was pretty nice, was described pretty nice, but you could have brought the more either all the characters from the previous mission, even the bank ones, or some of those important ones, and the song could have been played by the automatons, the ones from the barbershop. That would have been more romantic. But I don't understand if they're making friends or they just see people and they see Luri and everyone becomes their friends as soon as they see them. It's pretty weird. It is possible though. It needs to be either some wit or some common interest to go there. I didn't like the part where the automaton just takes them to their city to show them that the automatons have souls, but not really knowing anything about Luri or Andre, as only Andre asked about going, I don't know, the next island. And all of a sudden the driver started taking them in a different direction and brought them into their town for some reason. I do understand that the automatons had to be brought into the story, but there should be something there making the automaton want to bring Luri and Andre to their city. They don't just go kidnapping people and then going to the chief. The chief also came like they didn't have people around and didn't have anything to do. Another thing would be to scale the world a little. That's what would be quite relaxing for my head, because I'm trying to see if the automaton was either a couple of like most of the city were a couple of blocks or houses, or were there large cities like the capital of the world. I forgot what his name was, because yeah, if it's pretty big, if a city is pretty big, nobody will notice when someone else arrives, as they had things to do to sustain the city. But yeah, this was some of my thoughts on the book, but it's pretty, let me say, it's pretty awesome that you finished it. That's and published it. I don't know if it's published, but published on Wattpad 2 years ago. I bet you're like pretty awesome right now. I'm gonna check out your profile more. Do you have more? Oh, 2 works. Oh, is it a continuation? Dreampunk. Let's see. Journey to the Full Moon. I don't know if this was in May 2019, last year. Did you stop? Oh, so it's a continuation. Okay, let me just see. Oh, it's something that has. Oh, it's in the same universe, right? It's in the same universe. That's nice. Yeah, I want to hear more about either how good it is to be a wolf, how good it is to circumnavigate the world for getting the money to donate to the Wolfsbane. I did not really get what's happening. The only goal he had, she accomplished. I'm not sure. Oh, you're a trans author. I didn't saw that. Oh, now I'm getting the confusion. No. Yeah, it's hard for me to understand those terms. We don't really have it here, so that's why it was probably hard for me to understand what we were referring by when they were doing different things that didn't make any sense. But yeah, all in all, the story is pretty good. The story is pretty good for a wolf to go around the world to see a wolf society. That will be good. We do have to know a little more about their relationship with the other, let's say with the sheep, because it doesn't seem like they have a peace, or they either have some kind of peace and they don't seem to be harmful unless they're driven into insanity, and that's interesting. But we need more details. I need more details about it, because I really want to know what Luri is all about. What does she care about a lot? Now I feel like she cared about Jasmine, but just too all of a sudden, I think. I didn't see the why all of a sudden she just took and left Andre off just because she was a wolf also. I'm not sure. But yeah, if you can work more on your sightseeing, or just focus it on one or two things, that would be good. Because not the story, what was Luri focused on? That's what I'm asking my question. What was she focused on actually? She seemed to be focused on her past, on donating, on not breaking the law, and on the future, but she's not very present, though. We need a little more present from her, so we can understand present based on her past. That could be awesome. But yeah, all in all, it's a great book. I'll give it 4 werewolves out of a full moon. I think that's a pretty good. Rating. Yeah, that's what I'm giving. 4 werewolves on a full moon. That's it. That's the end of 70 Days by Sarah Grimm. Thank you for this book. Thank you for allowing me to read this. And I hope you feel good, and I hope you'll have more books, or you're gonna work on it, on this one more, or the next one, because I see the next one didn't get to be continued. I hope you'll edit them a little. Yeah, but I see some potential there. I see some good potential there. Who doesn't like werewolves? Who doesn't like going around the world? Automatons, those are the best. Flying cities. And yeah, Wolfsbane also. We need to find out the Wolfsbane. What's going on with the Wolfsbane? What does it do? Why do people use it? Where did they find it? It's those small details that I do enjoy, but that's just my, let's see, my interest. I'm not the big picture guy kind of guy, because I know the big pictures it's in the details, and they're all connected. Some of them are connected, some of them are just let's say a thread of the brush that went wrong. But yeah, this was it. Thank you. This was today's episode of reading of Moonstruck Reads. I'm gonna call this Moonstruck Reads because apparently Dick Moonstruck is not acceptable on YouTube as a hashtag. That wore me down. But this is gonna be called Moonstruck Reads. I'll see how I'll put it in the schedule. I'm not sure. I'm trying to make a better schedule because 11 a.m. is either, it's in the middle between too early or too late. Maybe I'll start them sooner. I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to search. I found a YouTube channel, and there are writers there, and they have the schedules of some writers. So I'm gonna go ahead and just give a small shout out to them. Where did I put them? Okay, because I forgot. I had to go to sleep last night. It was late, and I had some other things on my head, but I just I subbed them, and I told myself that I had to watch them later. Where they're doing also writing streams, if you're interested. I don't know what else they do with it. I just saw it last day. Where is that? Now I know I subbed to them. You're gonna have to stay with me until I sub to them if you want to. If not, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope you enjoyed the review. I hope you enjoyed my thoughts on the story. I will do more if someone wants. You can send it to my do I have an email put there? Let me just put an email on the screen. Let's see if I did a new account just for this, just for receiving you know, stories and everything. I should put that up, but I'm not really sure if oh, really? I didn't create it. I remember creating it. I remember creating something. Well, the last email, the main email is still. Let me just add a text here until I find the rest of the things I want to find. Wait. All right, this one. Let me just copy, because it's a weird email. Rename. Custom text. It's email. I'm gonna put my email here. This should be it. Oh, not this one. Just go back. Wire like this. Yeah, here it is. You can send me any, if you have any stories you want me to read and comment about. You can send them at that email. I will look through them. I will organize myself around them, and we'll do a reading. You can see it's pretty good. We're finding stories that we don't really see. We don't get to see, as they are not highly rated, and that's pretty good. That's what I want to do also. That's a thing to do for all the people that are writing and have the courage of writing. Just have the time to sit down and write. Those are the best people, and I hope you're writing if you're a writer. I hope you do that. Alright? Now, where was I? Yes, I was searching for that channel. Because I use different browser for different things, and I have, it's not this one. Oh, come on. Subscription. That's weird. Almost no. What's this about? Yeah, some of the channels what is this? Oh, this is ancient recitations. No, it's not this one. Oh, it should be on the other account, shouldn't it? Yeah, it should be on my main account. I know I subbed to them last night, I hope. No, I know. I even pressed the bell button. Oh, here it is. Is it? Oh yeah, Bissy Brown Books. Okay, let's see. No, you're not seeing what you should see. I think this should be it. Alright, this is the channel. They make lives, and I also saw Sakotumi is there. They also mentioned Sakotumi on a write-in they're gonna do. I'm not sure, I didn't caught the details. It was late at night, and well, by the end of the night I don't really think about stuff. But yeah, this was the story. I hope you enjoyed it. Can you tell me if when you're reading this, should I read it and comment it after? Should I like read one chapter or 2 chapters or 3 chapters and then comment it, like making it an hour and a half stream or so I can make him. I wanna narrow it down to 1 hour and a half, maximum of 2 hours, like today's stream went. And I'm thinking of either reading a couple of chapters if it's longer, and commenting about it. But if it's good, I'm just gonna read it. If it's good, I'm just gonna read it. Like if it's beyond my control. This one was kind of made in a rush, I think. It's kind of rushed, but it does feel like a lot of thought was put in every situation. But yeah, it was pretty good. I don't think I'm gonna comment anymore until the end. I'll just read the story, and then at the end, if I can, I will add some commentary if I have some. This is I'm not sure, I'm lost in thought. I'm not sure what I was thinking. Because, yeah, I don't feel like I'm the right person to, you know, give advice to review it, to add reviews to it. I could just, yeah, I think I'll just read it, and things I find interesting, I talk about them, like the pizza, like cities, like the names, where they come from. And that might be it. That might be the way to do it. I think that might be the way to do it. I'll just, yeah. Actually, you know what? This will be your choice. I will let everyone know, that everyone that sends me, I could just read it with no commentary, or with commentary, or with a final review. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I think that is what I'm gonna do. But still, please be short story. Like this one was okay. The length of this one was perfect. Because in a week we can narrow one down, right? We can narrow one down. And yeah, that's how it's gonna be. If you want me to just read your story, you can send me, like, on the email right there that I added. You can add, just read it, no commentary necessary. Read it so I can listen to it, how it sounds, or read it with commentary, or just final thoughts at the end. And that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah. All right, okay. So yeah, that was today's episode. I hope you enjoyed this story. If you want, you can check it out. I should have still linked it in the description. Yes, I still linked it there. You can check it out. give it some reviews, give it a watch. I hope it will help her. It will help her, and she seems open to criticism, so it's good because there isn't a lot of productive criticism, you know. Don't be jerkwads for things, but it has 713 views. That's pretty amazing. So yeah, thank you, Sarah, for letting us read your book. Thank you for letting me give my thoughts on it. If you didn't want to, I will just delete the videos. If you're not comfortable with this, just write me an email, because some people are not. They are in the beginning, but they aren't when I go full me. I know sometimes I'm feeling like I'm being too judgy, but I'm not. It's pretty good. It was a pretty good read. It gave us some hours of writing. Hi. Sorry. Hello, Paul. Hello. Yeah. It's the end of the stream today. How you doing? I'm thinking of this weekend I'll just focus on talking with some of the writers if they had something to write, if they have something they want me to read. I'll make a stock, I'll make a schedule, and we'll see you next time. All right, we'll see you next time. Don't forget about BC Brown Books. Alright, I'll join you. I'll just join you in a couple of minutes on Discord, alright? Let me just search for a song, an ending song. The mood should be this one. Yeah. Is it? Mood. This one. Send. All right, everyone. Let's hope. Let's hope. I don't know the songs. I don't know the songs, but I hope this one is gonna be a beautiful outro for today. I wish you all a great evening, a great morning, a great day. Stay safe, and I hope you get to do everything you want today, because it's Saturday, and just feel calm and peaceful. So I'm right here. You can find me Monday to Friday at 8 AM UTC. Maybe Monday I will provide a schedule change. I'm thinking about it. We'll see. I'm just gonna write something these days. I'm just gonna get some stories for us to talk about. And yeah, don't forget to subscribe if you wanna see when I'm going live. Some of the events they're creating separate events. I don't know why it's gonna be. It's weird sometimes, but usually I'm still on at the hour I'm saying at. Follow me on Twitch, on Twitter. You can find me on Twitter to DM me if you want to tell me your story. And yeah, if you want to get notification when I'm going online, please ring that bell, follow, and I'll see you next time. I hope you I hope you all have a great evening. Goodbye. And this one, yeah.